best way to get yourself out of a hole is to quit digging while you're in one. The best way to become a new person is to continue to do new things every day. Things that you're not familiar with. Look, we're not going to be familiar with doing new things, but we're going to have to get familiar with that. We're going to have to get accustomed to a new lifestyle in order to be a new person. Look, now those old habits, they're going, everything's going to creep up on you. The comfortability, the wanting to revert back to do the old stuff because it's familiar. It's too familiar because you're doing it so much. But look, we can't be comfortable. We gotta continue to embrace the new person we are becoming on this road. We have to. It's gonna be hard, y'all. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. But you know what? Ask yourself, what do you want to feel like in? What do you want to be in about a year? How do you want to look at yourself in the mirror? Now, you continue to do those old habits, you're not gonna see no change. You're not gonna see a change when you go to the gym for 2 days. You're not gonna see no change. I'm sorry, you're just not. It's the law of physics. You won't. But over the course of weeks, months, days, hours of putting in that work, you will see change. We're not looking for instant gratitude here. We can't. We can't. Look, everything you want to be, you know what you want to be. You know what it takes to get there. You know what it takes, but a lot of us don't want to put in that work because it's tiring. It doesn't feel fulfilling in the time right now. It's not about right now, man. It's about the long run, longevity. Life is about longevity. How long can you sustain something? How long can you sustain success? How long can you sustain working out each and every day? How long can you sustain putting the proper foods in your body? How long can you sustain being the best person you can be for yourself and for others? How long can you do that? Look, you can be motivated. Motivation is not going to last so long. It's not going to last too long. Motivation. So when the motivation runs out, what are you going to lean on? You got to lean on yourself. Nobody probably doesn't even believe in you right now. You got to believe in yourself. You got to be a dog. You got to be a dog. You got to be a dog. You got to dig deep and believe in yourself and continue to do it every day. Continue to believe in yourself each and every day, even on the worst days. As humans, we all have one bad day out the week. We're human. They don't put batteries in our back and we just walk. No, that's not how life goes. We run off feelings, emotions. But as men, we can't let our feelings or emotions get the best of us and dictate how our day is going to go or dictate what we are and what we're not going to do that day. We got to keep going because you know why? When we keep going, that's when we see change. When we wake up and we do things we don't want to do. A lot of us go to work and we get off and we give all our great energy to the job. But when we get off of work, we don't have any energy to pour into us. I think it's okay to work because you know what, you gotta sustain a lifestyle, right? That to your liking, of course. You gotta have that your rent paid, your car note, food in the house. Cool, I understand that. But the real job starts when you get off of work. What are you gonna do after that 9 to 5? How are you gonna shape your life after that 9 to 5? What is the picture for you? What is your does your life that do you honestly see in your mind you going to a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life? Now, if you do, that's cool. But if you don't, when you get off of work, you should be putting in more in look, when you get off of work, you should be putting in more work for yourself, for who you want to become. You don't have to talk about that with others at work. Those people are not your friends. Those people are your associates, your coworkers. That's why they call them associates, team members. They're just a member helping you on a team. And look, man, you don't gotta like your team. You just got to learn how to work with them. And so, look, I'm telling you this. Do what you know the creator put you here to do, and stop trying to avoid the works. Stop trying to say I'm gonna get to it or I'm gonna do it. It doesn't. The time doesn't feel right. I'm waiting on the perfect time, guys. We have no perfect time. We don't even know how long we're gonna be here. We have to have a sense of urgency this whole year. This whole year, we have to have a sense of urgency. This year, I'm moving like this is the last year of me living because I put it off for so many years. I've told myself I have time. I have time. I have time. And then you look up and you see you don't have that much time left on the clock. We don't even know how much time we have left on the clock. So if you want to spend your life smoking, drinking, partying, doing things that do not fulfill your purpose, and see how far life take you. But if you're smart and you know you want a better, living situation, you want a better life for yourself, you're gonna have to dig deep and do things that you're not too familiar with. But you're gonna have to get very familiar with those things, and they're gonna have to become new habits. Look, you have to throw away your new self. You have to throw away your old self to have a new body, to give yourself a chance. All those old habits, you gotta throw them away. You can't have old habits and expect to walk into a new life. It won't work like that. They'll crash. That's why I want to tell you this. Look, do not give up. Continue to have that drive. And when that motivation runs out, you got to dig deep for yourself. You got to motivate yourself too. You got to be the motivator. It's cool to have, watch motivation, but how long is that going to last? What are you going to lean on when that motivation is gone? And it's simple. You're going to have to lean on determination. You have to be determined to be better each and every day, no matter how long it takes. I'm willing to die trying to reap the benefits of my purpose in this lifetime. I am. Hey, it's your boy 25, man. Look, I hope everybody, man, having a great week. Continue to doing the things that they need to do. If you're going to work, go to work, come home. But when you come home, write down what happened in your day. Write down if somebody made you mad. Write down why they made you mad. Write down why you reacted the way you reacted. And write down some ideas that you have in your brain that you want to bring to life. And each day, just try to do one thing on that list. It's nothing more satisfying than having a goal list or bucket sheet, and you get to go check things off. There's nothing more satisfying than that. You know why? Because you set a goal. You checking it off means you're following your goal. Means you're following your plan. A lot of people have goals, but they don't have a plan. Without a plan, we plan to fail. Failure is not an option here. We have too many resources. This is how you looking at me right now. A resource. Internet. The older you get, and if you get to a certain age and you do not utilize the internet, you will regret that for the rest of your life. Because there's a person for each, there's a community for each and every one of us. But we got to dig deep and put our creativity out on the line so we can attract the people that we need to have in our life.